Has it been included, Matt?
Yep.
Hello everybody and welcome here to the Brazilian GP here in Tier 2 STB League. It's always good to be back in the comment box here for me. I've been well off the comment box for quite a bit really for Tier 2, but it's good to be back. It's good to be here in Brazil for the race that I get to get on the comments box back. But of course, it's not only me in the comments box for tonight. It is also going to be Mr. Rafio or Mafio right alongside me. How are we doing for tonight, Matt?
That's alright. Interesting looking in forward for this Brazilian Grand Prix. Or sorry, the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, my mistake. But yeah, it's going to be, I'm hoping for a great race. I've heard it's going to be raining for the start of the race, so there's definitely be some spiciness added to it. And obviously we've got Maldi racing for tonight, so that also makes some entertaining battles, I'm sure.
Well, it looks like LDF1K is on a good lap here, Matt, because I've just watched him throughout Sector 1. He's had a very good lap so far. It's a 51.1 as he goes to the last braking zone of the circuit, and now onto the exit. This could be right up close with Callum, who so far has got that 0.7, well, 7.9, sorry. But KO will now come across the line. Sticks close with that inside white line, almost invalidates across the line. It is going to be pole for KO. It's a 7.954. So close to Callum. He's just edged him out by 13 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, I was a bit worried there because he just ran out. He just started to run out of the ice towards the end of that lap. It probably hurt him. So luckily, didn't run out too early. Is anyone else on the lap? We've got Hype Nose on the horseshoe.
Yeah, I was just watching him, and he's 94 thousandths up on his lap, so definitely not a bad one for sure so far. The Alpine to his right, maybe just getting in his but a provisional view, just a little bit there. As
Dilemma's 3/10 up.
And where is he at? I actually don't know where he is. He's over here, last corner. 3/10 up. It looks like a decent lap, actually. He could put himself around P6 territory, and it is P6 for the Red Bull, overtaking his other Red Bull brethren, Raret's Toby. But Hype Nose will now come around that last turn. He's been up on his lap for quite a couple of bits. Second sector. Is it going to have to beat out LDF1K? It's not. Keira is down by 18 thousandths on his lap as well, so we've got a very spicy ending here.
Danny's up by 2 tenths.
And Danny will come around. I mean, it's a very good lap, actually. Depending on this straight, if it's good enough, he could get himself into the 7s on this lap. It's been a very neat and tidy one for Danny. It's a very close qualifying session here in Sao Paulo. Where's Danny going to put himself on the map? Across the line, it's a 8.1.
He lost a bit of time there.
Yeah, it's 6th place for him, so it's not bad at all, really. From the Englishman, and Keira spun at the last braking zone, really. He's going backwards right now. He could be disqualified if he's not careful, and I think he has been. He has been no, retired. I thought it was disqualified because that's what I did.
As long as he's reversing the correct way, it's alright.
Well, Callum's on a lap. Is he up? He's 20 thousandths of a second up on his lap. This last one has to be absolutely crucial. Oh my word! Oh, AlphaTauri away must have shook his nerves just a little bit. Has it damaged him of any time? Callum
only needs 2 thousandths.
Is it going to be pole? Yes, it is. It's a 9.27. It beats out KO's. But Toby!
Dave's 2 tenths up.
But Toby across the line. It's a 9.10.
Dave's got it.
It's Dave. Oh my word! A 7.7. What have we just witnessed? Dave across the line. 1.1 of 40 across the line. He's up. Incredible lap, and all of a sudden, Callum's gone from P1 in the qualifying session to just bloody 3rd. It's mental, it's madness. As oh my God, Francis, 4 tenths up on his lap. This is a mental lap so far. Across the line, the Mercedes, can it beat out Dave by any chance? No, it's a 7.9 just behind KO. Matt, I think Danny's off not on a lap. What a qualifying session, Callum. You know, potentially taking that P1 away from his fellow teammate KO. And Toby just says, no, I'll take it. But then Steve says, I'll smash out the park. I'll get a 7.7 and I'll be leading going into the Brazilian GP. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Dave just come out of nowhere. I know he said he was 1.5 tenths up, but I did not think he would gain that much time in the last sector. He's obviously made a mistake somewhere in his previous lap, and he's just come out of nowhere and just smashed it in, shocked everyone. I mean, that lap would put him way into the top 10 in Tier 1. So it was a very solid lap.
Well, it is a very good qualifying session for Toby, as he is first currently in the standings for Tier 2. DJ Danny, his man, who is trying to battle him for that P1 in the standings very early on this season, 11 points behind him. So he's going to have to... Yes, it is very close. So he's going to have to be pinpoint perfect going into this Grand Prix if he wants to gain any points on Toby.
Yep, I mean, Darkin's just little, like, 8 thousandths over a second off, and he's last. That just proves how close it is. It's absolutely insane. The whole lobby's split by a second.
It's super close, but you just take a look. Callum, Toby, KO, all within a tenth of each other. But then Dave just says, I'll set it 7.7. Who cares? Yep. 1.5 tenths on pole. Mental.
Yep, and here's the rain. Indeed,
it is. So, due to the rain, it is going to be... It's not going to be a, easy ride to the finish line for anybody on this grid. So when it's wet, it's always entertaining. It's always fun here in F1, especially in the F1 game, because everyone just slips and slides. Maldi definitely had some comments about that in the qualifying session about this wet weather, not being too keen on that one. But Matt, what are we expecting going into Turn 1 here in Brazil?
Oh, this Center S really causes some issues and starts the races in the dry. I mean, the rain is just going to make it that much more interesting. I'm expecting some people to maybe overshoot it, maybe lose the rear, maybe tangle with somebody because of the low grip. And I'm expecting at least one or two cars to have a moment into this first step.
Well, are your words true? Are your predictions correct? As we eager closer and closer to the Tier 2 Brazilian GP. Green light, go, go, go. Here in Tier 2 is Dave. Going to get a good start across the line. Toby could overtake for P1. And as Aston Martin have a little bit of a slip, it's 3 wide. Ooh. Going into the first turn. What's going to happen here? Pushed a little bit off wide. Toby's able to retain his P2 for now. Dave down the inside. But now Toby.
Oh, Callum and KO's round.
Oh, no. Callum and KO are both round. They're both back at the grid. The Ferrari teammates who were previously P3, P4, now P17, P18. Safety cars out. Someone else is in the barriers. Is that Maui?
It's a Haas. Anton.
It's Anton WWE, JLE, or I don't know to be honest, but that is a mental first 2 turns. Callum and KO coming together, both colliding, both Ferraris, having a mare so far. Who's that for that one, Matt?
With the Ferraris, I think I'm trying to think which one it is. Was ahead.
Callum leaves the session. I will invite him back.
I believe it was Callum that was on the outside. I think
it was. No, it was KO.
Yeah, but I think Callum was already recovering from being side by side with the others. So I don't know. I think it could be a racing incident. But I think I would like to see Callum to give more space. But whether he could or not is a different question.
Can you please invite Callum for me? I don't think he's on my friends list for some reason. Where is he?
Oh no, Josh! Shit. Oh fuck! No. Okay. Sorry, I actually invited him to the party. Get the wrong one. There we go.
We could get his comments on that, but I think we know what it is. But it's green light again. So instantly go underway. This is the king going into the pits, surely for some damage. If you're going in the pits this early on, Anton with a 5-second time penalty for speeding and side effects, and QTK Arena going side by side. Side effects is able to just storm past. And Maldi's not going to be happy with that overtake by IRT Dilemma. Is he going to send down the inside? He is. He doesn't give any messing about. He does not mess around whatsoever in Brazil. Oh my word! Oh my word! Maldi, jeez Louise, mate. You got to keep it at least a little bit. I mean, I get it's Brazil, Maldi, but jeez Louise, just a bit too tight of a squeeze, in my opinion. In just. Such a silly turn to do it at, Matt.
Yeah, the fact that Maldi was started like P16 or something, P14 was it, something like that. He's now up into P7. Hype Nose and Koye are now fighting. Koye's just shot past Hype Nose through the hairpin there before this long left-hander into...
And Rossetti overtaking Darkin, going into the third sector as well. So Rory looks up a little bit there, Darkin. That's going to be a bit of a tricky one for no ABS users, especially on this early on. Let's get the, of course... the penalties up. I will do tyres.
No, it's run outside off Koyi into turn 1.
Sorry. Yes, he is, as he's been pushed onto the grass. Oh, wow, Maldi goes extremely wide going into the first turn. Oh,
come on, ahead.
He came in like a wrecking ball, if I'm honest with you. That was a very dangerous moment, and Kane was having a dangerous moment as well, slipping and sliding, as Side Effects is able to get past there for P9, Matt.
Yep, having a look at Kaio's looking his back way through. I'm still not back into the part of the game here, as I'll back up each other for Fassetti. He's having a great race so far, and he might have to back out of this. He does.
Oh, there's a bit of a commotion with J-Mo there. I just see him just snap a little bit, whether that was a bit. Oh, he's going to send it back down the inside on Fassetti here into the second sector. He's now going to take that outside line going into the left-hander, and he's just been pushed slightly. Could actually go off track as a result, but no, he's able to keep the car in between the white lines. They're still side by side throughout the sector 2, and he takes that inside line. A little bit of contact going into the turn map, but nevertheless, a nice move for J-Mo. He's up into P14.
Yep, Callum's finally joining back into the lobby. A bit of fighting here. Callum's now back on the rear of Maldi. Also, Hatnose and Koyi also side by side. Oh, it was a collision!
Oh no!
Hatnose is in the barriers. He's lost his front wing, and that's him into the pit lane.
And Dave also re-overtaking forward. Oh, Maldi here with Dilemma going into the first turn. A tiny bit of contact with the Red Bull and the Williams. Now down the inside, he'll go into the second turn.
Maldi
round the outside potentially. And now that's going to be Side Effects coming through. And IRT Dilemma loses a position as a result of Maldi pushing. And now Side Effects, he's got to be careful of the man here. He knows what Maldi's capable of going into turn 4 here. He's able to just shy off a little bit. Dilemma's not going to be a happy chappy about what just happened a second ago. So he's going to be looking to get right back on the Alpine as we go into the second sector map.
Yep, so Maldi and Side Effects to season 22 championship fighters there for the championship that season, and last season F1 22, and return to tier 2 here. Very interesting to see, and then Pina quality high positions in tier 2 here.
Yes, and well,
Toby's all over the back of Dave.
Yes, as we go into Dave has a little bit of a snap as well on the rear. As now we will go down that pit lane straight. The Red Bull with its lightning speed with that ERS usage as we tumble down towards turn 1. He will. There's Dave got in that inside line, so we have to force it round the outside. The Red Bull looks to go. No grass. Luckily for him, he has to stay behind. Dave's taking a very nice defensive line there. He's going for the switchback like you've just mentioned, and he's going to get a better exit due to it, but he almost slides on the exit of turn 3.
Yeah, he just got a bit bogged down from Dave being ahead of him. In the pits, and is that retirement? Yes, it is.
Yes, he has retired. But Solifex and Maldi going into turn 4 up the inside. Solifex goes contact with Maldi, and he's always pushed him off. Oh, Solifex puts Maldi in his place, practically here in Brazil, which is lovely to see. But nevertheless, we've got to say, Matt, on the stream, it's STB Maldi. It's his birthday, isn't it? It's his birthday week, like he said.
Yeah.
His little birthday present is me commentating and him racing. So, you know, we're going to hope he has a good race, and we're going to hope he's not going to try and force anybody off track.
Maldi wants nothing to get in this way here. He wants... This is his race for him. He wants this race. Well, I mean, he's not fighting for the championship this race. Obviously, he's in tier 2 here. Not tier 3, but he's going to still try his best. He's going to do anything he can to do it. Always a little bit of a squiggle and exit there. And Kyra's now just mugged him for breakfast.
Yes, indeed he has. And Maldi is going to have to use that ERS to go back at him again. Or is he going to use that ERS? Yes. Sorry, just now, as we go down towards turn 1, he's definitely going to send this. I know STB Maldi. He's sending this one. Yes, he is. Down the inside, Maldi goes. Is he going to push the AlphaTauri off? Yes, just a tiny bit of contact there.
Oh, Kyra's round.
No. Oh, no. It's a multiple car collision. It's 3 rounds. It's 3 rounds.
It's called Arena. Or Reina, with in Spanish. And Dave's got a 5-3 time penalty.
Yes, he has. Maldi at fault for 3 people spinning. Who would have guessed, if I'm honest, here at Brazil? And no, Fassetti! Jesus Christ!
Almost close to demo.
Close. Yes, that is so close to J-Mo. I'm surprised he didn't get murdered, if I'm honest. Crikey almighty. That was a close one for J-Mo.
Maldi, you came here to enjoy the race of tier 2, not create chaos.
Well, we'll see if he creates chaos in Tier 3. I'm quite frankly terrified to go side by side with him around this circuit in a different league called PAR, and in this league, STB, it's going to be even worse because it's STB. It's his league. So I'm terrified for tomorrow, but you can go ahead and catch us all for that action with VIF Callum and of course Matthew alongside with me in the combo. Alongside with Callum in the combox for that one. But like I mentioned earlier, a big sticking point in this race now, of course, Matthew, is that Dave does have that 3-second time penalty, and because of that, you know, he's going to be vulnerable. Oh, Maldi also getting a 3-second time penalty, but as well as that, Danny having a bit of commotion there with Francis. Did you see that, Matt?
I didn't see that, but I just know that Danny loves these conditions, so he's going to be Danny's one of the drivers. He's going to be very quick for these first few laps, but I heard it's going to be drying out towards the end. So we'll see how his pace handles and dry. But we know Danny loves these conditions. We all happened in Portugal. He was rapid, and as soon as it dried out, he just fell back. I think it was Portugal.
Well,
was a
Danny's really got to overtake Francis. Really,
King is round.
Indeed, he is. It's not going to cause a safety car, I don't think. And
no damage.
And well, Danny's really got to get past Francis because he's really, well, never mind, because he's almost a second away from Francis after that mistake, and he is now as we go across the line for the 8th lap so far of a marathon 36, as Toby will now look to go side by side with Dave going into the first turn. Will he send it? No, he won't. He's got to be patient here, Matt.
Yeah, a bit difficult without the DRS here. Because it's all going to be about traction and using the overtake, but you're going to use it slightly around it.
Whoa, my God, they're both slipping sliding around that third turn.
That corner is so dodgy for traction, the wet.
Indeed it is, and, Toby, he's in the back!
Oh,
no,
contact.
Toby!
Francis will take advantage of this.
And now Francis comes out, oh, God. I mean, Toby has come out the worst there, so I don't know if that's going to be a 5-second time penalty for him.
Yeah, I think he might get away with that. Yeah, I think it's just a bit of a touch, but
it's definitely a reminder to Toby that is this is wet. You don't use your normal braking lines. You make sure not to outbrake yourself at all, and if you do, you're going to get that 5-second time penalty. And like we just saw there, that is a key example of that. And that's also very key for Danny, as he's now caught up that second due to that. So maybe you could argue that Danny caught up that second, and therefore, you know, that should result in a time penalty. But I think it would be quite harsh to say so. But Danny, P4 right now, and going to look to get involved in this battle, which Toby so desperately looking to get past Francis.
Yep, I just thought, Arena is off through the right left-hander. Yeah,
I mean, you could go onto a camping site at that hill, and it looks like Arena just you know, looks like he wants to set up a camp there.
Yeah, and it's just me, but the rain looks a bit lighter than it did a few laps ago.
Yes, it does. It does. So it's a little bit of for Francis. Yes, I just saw that. Just breaks himself, locks up, sorry. And like I said earlier, Matt, you know, the no ABS is really going to damage and limit.
Oh, there's rain stopped.
It has. Wow, nice eye, Matt. It has stopped. The rain has ended, and now people will be thinking, you know, when do I go on those soft compound hards? Really, wouldn't you say? For the end of this Grand Prix, you would say, you know,
how long this track stays wet for.
You could still go medium soft if you really feel like it. If it goes like lap 15, which is out, lap 14, you might want to pit for those hards. It really depends, really. If you want to do 22 laps on those hards, you can do them, but they'll be around 70% near the end. So it's going to be a tricky one to decide.
A lot of these guys will have 2 fresh set of mediums and only scrub sets of softs. So maybe they want to go mediums. But here comes Danny on Francis.
Oh, yes! There goes Danny, looking for the outside line going into turn 1, but he's cleared them going into turn 1. Will Francis look for the move down the inside? No. But that is a very crucial overtake for Danny, as, well...
5-second penalty.
Indeed he has, and he enters the pit lane. Is he already thinking about going onto those soft tyres? He's trying to do what he did in China and just go early on those dry tyres, but it's way too early.
Managed to hold on there into turn 1 as the King has made another spin. And here comes Dilemma, it's up the inside in turn 4 on Koi. Gets the move just alongside. Oh, a bit squishy.
Pushes him off a little bit there, doesn't he?
Starbucks is all onto the mediums. I think that's a bit early yet.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he did what I did at China. He just went too early on those dry tyres and just lose too much time. As Anton gets a 5-second time penalty, they're all getting 5-second time penalties. And Dave's got really hope that Toby gets that 5 second, because right now he's right at the back of him and is in for the win.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why Signifax is in so early. So King's also got fast. He's retired. Yeah, his race not being here today. He's not been his race at all.
Toby's got a good run here on Dave, sorry, as here we go down into turn 1, ERS being used, and it looks like they're both going into the pits. Danny stays out.
It must be the crossover period.
Danny stays out. 5-second time penalty for Toby and for Dave. That is just what Danny and Francis needs, really, continuing on in this race, and that hugely damaged.
Toby onto hard.
Toby
on the hard as well.
I mean, I don't even know why you go on mediums at this point. I mean, I think you could probably do
25
laps
Should just
on those
make it.
hards. Yeah.
Long way, but I think it is possible.
DJ, that still looks quite wet to me, Matt. I think you have to go out at least one more lap.
Yeah, but you know, this game's like, even though it looks wet, sometimes it's still quite manageable on the dries. The game's a bit strange like that.
Yeah, I thought it was one of those incidences in Tier 3 China, but clearly wasn't. It was still completely wet, and I do just wonder if, you know, Toby's messed that up, and well, he's messed up anyway for that 5-second time penalty, let's be completely honest here. But DRS is enabled. That is literally, I mean, Toby's literally just sliding. I've just seen it on my camera. He's just slid round into Sector 2, so that is awful for Toby. It is a big yes to going into the pits now, I reckon, with that DRS enabled. And Danny's going to take that indication and go into the pits, as well as Francis.
Yeah, he's starting to look a bit dry now.
Come on, Danny. He's under that limit. Get in. That's my goat.
So is Francis.
As he enters the pits.
Yep. Dynamo as well.
You could. It's almost like now, Matt. You know, it's not between Danny and well, it's not between Dave and Toby. It's between Danny and Francis now, isn't it?
Speeding. Went way too hot into the...
And Dave, out of nowhere, comes out in that P1, but where's Toby going to be? At the end of this, he had an awful outlap on those hard tyres. He's come out. P3. Is he behind or is he ahead, Dave?
Danny's going to have more battery here.
Francis.
But Toby's going to have warmer tyres. So you might try and think of making a move now into turn 2 while Danny's on cold tyres. He's getting really held up here.
I mean, Danny, this is the perfect position you want to be in, isn't it? I mean, just 8 seconds behind Dave.
It's a mix of mediums and hards at the moment as well. So I think some people aren't quite sure about the hards making it to the end, and the others are thinking, yeah, these hards can go to the end. So it's a bit of mix of opinions here on tyre strategies. Those mediums are definitely going to have to pit again, and they're not going to do 24, 25 laps.
Well, you know what Signifax is like. He's always going to take those to the end. Anton is definitely going soft medium. So...
yeah. I mean, Anton's about 5 years behind everyone, so I don't think
he's got to hope
that
Toby doesn't. Sorry, Matt. Danny's got to hope that Toby doesn't do something ridiculous for this Grand Prix. I mean, he would. I mean, I think what you're thinking right now.
Overtake. Yeah, easy pickings. Danny uses high downforce generally.
Yeah, so that should be the easy overtake. Done, dusted. But in my opinion, Matt, this is just what Danny wants. He wants to keep him with that DRS. He wants to. You know, stick with Toby.
Time penalties as well.
Exactly. Let him drag him along towards Dave near the end of this race.
Dilemma and side effects. I had a collision in turn 2.
Oh no!
And Queen's out.
That brings up the VSC.
Oh, he's lost his front wing.
He has lost his front wing. It's not anything other than that. But I did not see that, unfortunately.
Oh, Kyra.
But yeah, Kyra, I think having to slow down there, and I don't know what he's doing now. Is he retiring from this Grand Prix?
But he has got damage. So just a virtual. I was hoping actually for a full safety car there. That made it a bit more interesting.
Toby's passed. Oh wait, no, never mind. We already saw Toby getting past Danny. Sorry. A bit of awful brain by me. I had to calibrate it, Matt. Anyways, you know, even in Interlagos, in Sao Paulo, it's you know. It is quite a short lap. Whilst people, you know, think of this race as quite a long one, in reality, you know, it's 36 laps, but the laps are 1:07, really. if you're
Oh, Anton, just Anton, driving penalty for under the safety car.
Yep. I mean, as you can see right now, hard for the top 4, medium for KO, Dilemma hard, side effects medium, Maldi also on those hard tyres, JMO so and so, medium, medium hard, medium soft. For this race. I think that's enough information on those tyres. And Koi has said, I've had enough. I'm going into the pits and I'm retiring.
Cybervex has got a full ring, so he's in the pits. But Cybervex is hoping that virtual's out for another 30 seconds.
Oh, by the way, Toby's got this in the... sorry, Danny's got this in the bag. I mean, he's got the 80%, so ERS. He's got the DRS. Toby's quicker, I would argue, than Dave. In my opinion, this should be easy pickings for Danny.
We don't know yet.
Be coming across the line P1.
There's still 22 laps to go, so that's still 2/3 of the race. So we've got plenty of time for anything to happen.
This is Brazil. This is Brazil.
Yeah.
You got to remember, this is Brazil. Anything does and everything happens. Look at Lewis Hamilton. Is that glowing slow? And moments like that, you know.
I think this Danny just doesn't quite have the pace as everyone else on the drive generally. So now Danny's on the back foot.
The thing is that DRS is it is so crucial around
Brazil,
though, man.
Especially with the overtake, especially with the ERS. ERS is very difficult to manage around here. So if Toby is faster than him, and Toby is going faster than Dave, naturally they will close up. It's Darky that's the best of the race, but he's just...
I think the only worry in Danny's mind right now is Francis. You know, Francis, does he overtake him and then all of a sudden it's Francis getting that P1? Or is it still, you know, Danny being quick, being... you know, luxurious in his pace, dropping off Francis even if he makes a mistake. That's what he's worrying about right now. He's worrying about Francis. He's worrying about, does he get the overtake on me? Do we battle all of a sudden? Do we lose time? And do I lose the lead? And JMO right on him as he loses it into the long right-hander. Rejoins the track very dangerously, I have to say, pushing Kira off. Kira has not had a very good day today. And, yeah, so far, so blooming good for JMO. Until that point, let's be honest. Until that point. But you can see Danny now with that DRS. He's not going to look for a move, is he? Yes, he just slows down.
That's just for Anton, the Haas is absolutely nowhere.
And I think Toby's actually got DRS as a result of that. No, he hasn't, actually. Never mind. I mean, Francis does have lower percentage than DJ Danny. About 20% or so. Danny is ahead of him at, so it may not seem like a lot, but it is not enough to, you know, well, I mean, it's quite a squabble here with Forsetti and Keira. Sorry, I have to cut myself off here, as DRS is being used here by JMO, but Keira is going to be adamant on that outside line, and JMO is going to send that up the inside, really keep his nose in. No, he won't. Forsetti's able to defend that map.
Yep, hold on for now. As they continue to squab, obviously JMO's not involved in this battle after that mistake he had. But looking to try and get past maybe. Yeah, it's
could be looking for that inside line. But
yeah. It's fortunate JMO. It's a shame for JMO because he shouldn't be in this rear areas right now. He should be ahead of these guys chasing down Darkin, but he's now squabbling with the McLaren and the AlphaTauri. It's hurt him quite a few points here, as I think Anton's going to retire. Yeah.
Danny is right onto the back of Toby, and Toby is not gonna. Well, he's gonna look for Danny to overtake. He wants Danny to overtake him, but Danny's just not gonna let that happen. Danny is gonna be a sly little fox, stay behind, keep using that DRS, and eventually near the end of this race, we're gonna see Danny P1, Francis P2, Toby P3, Dave P4. That is what we're gonna see at the end of this race. If, of course, that keeps going on. Who knows, anything can happen. Toby might spin and all of a sudden Danny drastically drops 8 seconds. Francis overtakes, Danny, and all of a sudden, we've got Francis as the winner. There's still multiple possibilities in this race, I'm not denying that, but right now, the hands, I mean, in my opinion, it's right now, it's Danny's win to lose, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, specific some of the time penalties, so that'd be good for somebody like Gemma. But I'm just looking at Mardy, and to be honest, Mardy should be very pleased with his race right now. He's got through the intermediate periods quite comfortably. He's made some good moves, and he's still got some decent position right now here in P7 on down the hard tyres, whether they can get to the end. And he's alters now for the Tari up. It's Kyra. He's in the barriers.
Well, let's hope he does that on, well, tomorrow, really, for me. No, but it's unfortunate for K-Rap in this Grand Prix to do something like that, and K-Rap says, I've had enough, I'm retiring. Of course, Dave is Meldy's teammate, so, I mean, that could be, you know, very good points on the board for Williams as a whole. I mean, actually, it could be Dave P4, actually, never mind, because, you know, it's still not
a 3-second and a 5-second.
Exactly, yeah. So I was just thinking it was still 3-second, but no, it's actually, you know, that 8-second time penalty. And, you know, that puts him at a P4 currently, and it's not looking good, as Toby is pulling that gap, Matt.
Yep, very slightly, but it is coming down, and that's obviously it's good for Danny. Something called Marnie's joined, Arena's got a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, it's definitely, but the battles definitely have spread out after the pit stops, as it generally does. The pit stops do tend to,
Danny might force to go for the move here, and he does. Down the inside he goes on Toby. Is he going to be tactical about this and just let Toby go by? I think he will, yes. That's
no, he's going to go back
smart thing to do. And he's looking for that move around the outside. He's going to have that DRS. Will he actually use it? Yes, he will. Will he lift off? No, he won't. He's going to get the move on Toby. That is a key point in this race, Matt, because I'm not too sure if Danny has better pace than Toby at all.
That's what I was going to say.
And also with that, Exactly. Also, 6 tenths off through that battle. And as well as that, you know, you got to think, Toby's now going to save ERS. He's gone for that 25%, but, you know, Danny has double. You know, Toby might not get to that point, to that 50% point, but he most certainly will gain ERS, and due to that, he could actually have a nice battle with Danny, which eventually leads up into Francis coming through, potentially getting that win. So this is a very key moment in this race, Matt, where Toby has been overtaken by Danny, and Toby is able to use this DRS here and use a bit of ERS if he likes to. Save some up. He's gonna go back. He's gonna go for it. Never bloody mind.
Yeah,
let's forget about strategy. Yeah, let's just forget about strategy. We're gonna focus on Toby and getting that bloody overtake. And I think, like you said, Matt, that's down to the high wings of Danny. You know, just Toby, just maybe getting caught out a little bit by that. And yes, you can now see that flashing red for DJ Danny. He's gonna be licking his lips at that one. But I don't think he should overtake at this point, Matt. What's your opinion on it?
Yep. Oh, there was a bit of lag there on Danny for a second. I thought he went off tracking at the horseshoe. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna it's gotta be quick and down a straight. Last thing you want to do is start going sabotage for a few corners because you'll lose precious time as a Ferrari. Kaio is round at the horseshoe.
And that is a very dangerous place to go off as well. And he's reset the track. That's a 5 sec. 10 seconds will be added to his total at the end of this race. And JMO could actually finish ahead of him, for God's sake. And I mean, JMO actually might finish ahead of KO, one of the best drivers that's been in Tier 2 this season. Well, you know, based off the first race, really. So far, it's not been that good for the Ferrari driver. But you can take a look at Danny here. Not going to overtake. Stays behind smartly. And you can just take a look at Francis here. He's becoming to be even a bigger factor, Matt, because he's got 60% ERS. It's close to Danny. All of a sudden, does Francis think, let's have a battle here, let's have a cheeky fight, let's go for the overtake? What is your thoughts on Francis's position right now, Matt?
Well, yeah, he's in the most comfortable position because he is currently last place. He's got no one behind him. He's got to look ahead, and obviously going to keep assessing the situation. Like I said, because at the moment Toby has got that gap down to 1.8 seconds to Dave. It's just lost a bit of time there, but like I said, the gap coming down, so that's also helping Francis and Danny to close back up. Like I say, I think Francis doesn't want to fight too much, but I think Francis towards the end of the race might try and find a way to get past Danny, save some ERS and try and make a move. Obviously, if Danny has DRS, it's going to be a bit difficult. And the car's gone again. Yeah,
KO has gone again.
He's obviously he's not made that set up properly, is he? I think he's quite learnt from yesterday.
Has not been a good day for the Ferraris, Matt. Not at all.
Considering he raced yesterday, he didn't do that. I don't know what he's doing to his
Oh, Danny's overtaken Toby. Sorry to cut you completely off, Matt, but Danny has overtaken Toby down that DRS straight. Yeah. And now Toby will take that DRS back.
The gap's come back down over 2 seconds though, so that's the issue with that. So I don't think Danny's pace to keep that gap. So it's going to be an interesting one. But Danny's got to trying to extract something out of his arse here if he wants to get that gap down without having to rely on Toby.
I mean, he doesn't need to keep that gap down though. That's the thing. You got to remember that he's really only got to stay within 5 seconds until the end of this race, and then all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom, he's got the win. I mean, because he could get that 3 second remove, Matt. You know, that 3 second by Dave could most indefinitely get removed. So you never know in these circumstances. You don't want to rely on him actually having that 8 seconds, and then by the end of this race, and then a couple of weeks time, you look back on this and you're like, oh, Dave got that removed, and all of a sudden, I've lost some significant points in the championship. So he's really got to think forward here and think to himself, if he's just going to keep that 5 seconds, just got to keep him 5 seconds, get this win later.
Yep, Toby disables his DRS early. A bit of lag there again from Danny there. Toby's using some overtake, he's using some DRS. I'm assuming he's going to try and maybe he can re-overtake here. He's going back for it.
He's going to go for that inside line, and going into turn 4, that move's completed, but I don't think it's really going to matter for Danny at this point. I mean, he's seen that red light flashing, and he's just thinking to himself, "To me along, Toby. Do whatever you think's necessary, and let's go and catch this Dave guy together, and let's get, I'll get the win."
Yeah, but I don't know about that. I think it's perfect Toby. Last thing Toby wants is to get Danny higher up. I think Toby right now is still in the good place at the moment with the 2 second time penalty. He's still within that 5 seconds of Dave. So I think Toby right now, I think he's going to be quite happy where he is at this moment in time. So I don't think he's not exactly going to be eager to try and catch up.
Jamin with 3 seconds, he's got 11 seconds, double digits for him on the board.
Toby's in.
He is in.
He just maybe doesn't think these cars can get to the end. Mediums.
That is a bold move.
This could either be. Oh, he's got 5 second time penalty as well. This could be.
That's a bold move.
Yeah, with 5 second time penalty, I'm not so sure.
Mediums as well, but he's not going to go onto the softs.
No,
softs you can definitely do.
Yeah, but they tend to fall after about 10 laps, so they tend to start struggle.
I mean, I was fine when I did a Brazil race in PAR. When I went onto those softs, I think I did 14 laps, and I was completely fine.
But after I did the race yesterday, after 6 laps on the softs, the hard runners are faster than me when they pit in the game.
But will Toby come out in traffic? Sorry, I think he has slightly, as Forsetti is within 6/10. So if Forsetti's able to catch on and maybe overtake him, you know, all of a sudden you've got a massive battle here between Forsetti and Toby, and then he loses time, and then he's out the picture. But it is going to be interesting how Kayra's in as well. I mean, I think that's granted, considering the mediums. Francis, though, he is going to have that battle with DJ Danny. And right now, will he get that overtake completed?
Dilemma's round.
Yes, he will, as Dilemma is round. But more importantly, that Francis has got that overtake on Danny for P2. And now is 8 seconds, well, 2 seconds behind Dave, but that 8 second time penalty is coming in. Matt, all of a sudden, Toby picks. It's not only a big fact. Okay, it's not only a big factor. I mean, crikey, never mind. Francis is not. He hasn't got the move. Toby, I'll get back.
He's now 2.7. As soon as Toby's gone, these guys have started scrabbling, and they've lost a second. Dave already. This is what happens. They start scrambling each other.
If Danny does keep within DRS of this AI here of the AlphaTauri, then you know, I guess it's a bit of a tow along. But
we'll lose about 4 or 5 seconds if we did that. But yeah, like I say, I don't think they've got the pace anyway. But if these guys are scrambling, they're just going to lose that time.
I don't think they're going to lose. You know, what is it? Around 6 seconds, 5 seconds in 11 laps.
I mean, Francis.
We don't. But let's think about it. Most overtakes are going to be down these straights, Matt. Which, if anything, probably will actually gain time.
Yeah, if it's clean overtakes and they're not slowing each other down, then you will go in time from it. But as soon as you start compromising each other's lines, that's when you start to lose that time. So
but Danny will come back with that DRS. Sorry, Matt. ERS also being used. Will he use that inside line like he did last time? Yes, he will. Down the inside he goes. And oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. Francis almost went around for me. Apparently not. He's still fine and dandy.
I was very confused there.
Yeah, me too. I was because it looked like he had a massive snap, and I was like, oh god, that's it. Indeed he is. Maldy's not going to be happy with that, and Darkin's going to be very happy on his TikTok stream. I had to shout that out. Go follow Darkin Engineer's TikTok. He streams there daily. And, oh, no, J-Mo. Having a little bit of collision with Hype Nose there. And what are you saying? Oh, my God, that J-Mo. Bloody hell, mate. Keep it at least a little bit clean around this circuit. Let's not kill each other here. Don't do a Maldy. Crikey. But yes, you can just take a look at that massive train. I mean, Side Effects is P13 right now, 17 seconds behind. I mean,
yeah, Sessy's ahead of the train.
Particularly happy for me.
Sessy's on the hards. He's oh, yeah, the flags. Dano's gone again at the same corner. That flat left-hander.
Dilemma. Yeah,
Really,
but he's gonna have to get back to racing speed. I don't think he's even in traffic, is he? I think he might lose a second hit. And yes, he has. So he's not even within that traffic.
Oh,
Maldy! Past Darkin. I mean, this is a battle to look out for because Maldy does not care. He will push you off circuit. He'll do whatever is necessary to overtake you around Sao Paulo. So
as Hype Nose up the inside of Rossetti, and Darkin's got past Maldy.
Indeed. Darkin, you know, battling for that P4 slots. I mean, Maldy right now, he doesn't have the pace. He's, you know, lost ERS. He's lost a lot of ERS. And Forseti and Hype Nose getting a little bit of a squabble there. And nearing the end of this race, you want to be around 50% ERS like Forseti is right now. If you are at that rate, you know, you can use your ERS smartly. And, you know, I mean, all I'm saying is, Maldy, if he holds up Toby just a little bit, it does really benefit Francis and Danny. Speaking of, Francis gets the overtake on McLaren for P2.
Toby's got one of the DRS of Maldy.
He has already. That is mightily quick. Just showing a bit of lack of pace from Maldy, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
but Danny, side by side down the straight, and oh no, Francis gone off. Danny. Yes, that is going to be a 5-sec for Danny, 100%. Oh lord, Danny.
Davies round. Fuck that, Davies round.
Oh my god, Dave has absolutely messed that up. He's gone round. No offense, Dave, I apologise. But, I mean, he's gone round that right-hander. He's lost the rear end. He's done a KO. You know, he's lost it. And if only Danny did not force off Francis there. And, you know, all of a sudden you're thinking right now, you know, Danny win, easy peasy, mac and cheesy. But no, you know, he's probably gonna get a 5-second due to pushing off Francis. Because of that, Danny, I think, might lose his P1 off this race.
Yeah, Toby needs to make this move from Maldy here. He's losing. He's probably lost about a second this lap because of the being scrapping with Maldy. Which when he stopped behind him this the whole lap.
I mean, we know what Maldy's like though, so he might actually send up the inside here. Look at him moving across. What is he doing down the straight? I mean, sorry. Maldy, come on, mate. Come on. Let's not be silly here. Let's not be daft. As Darkin Engineer wiggling about as he goes down into turn 4. He's going to take that outside line on it's Toby. Around the outside, he's looking to go. Of Toby, maybe looking for a switch back. No. Toby clears them. Arena leaves the session. And it's pretty much just these three. Francis ahead. And then Danny, who, you know, forced him off.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
we've got softs. Realised.
Oh, crikey.
And he's now right outside the dilemma. Oh, a bit scrabbly. He's right behind this train, which is a big issue because he's going to lose a lot of time trying to get past these guys.
Well, he's just sliced Dilemma through like he was hot knife, and Dilemma was the butter. But going into this right-hander here.
Oh, contact! Davies is really not enjoying this little chaotic midfield battle. It's not going to be easy to get through. Dilemma's almost lost it. Yep, it's the third time he's done that. This time he's caught it.
Crikey. And Maldy overtakes Darkin. Simple as that. Back to the battling with Maldy and Darkin.
Darkin's going to start going away soon. He's on the mediums, and same lap as Maldy, but Maldy's on the hards. But this battle's not over yet.
I mean, is Maldy going to do a DJ Danny? No, he's not. But now you can just see Francis within that DRS now, Matt. So I mean, not anymore, but he was. So, in my opinion, I think Francis got this win in the bag. As for Setti...
Dave always getting the back of him.
Switchback.
Dave might move it.
That was a very nice switchback, I can't lie, from Hype Nose. But yeah, that was not a very clean move, really, was it, from Forseti? And he has lost quite a tiny bit of time there to the lads behind. And, well, Maldi is giving us the entertainment right now, really, isn't he? He's just on the back. He's slipping and sliding. And Dave up the inside of Hype Nose. He's got that move completed, but we expect that, if we're being quite frank. And Francis within that DRS now. Maldi catching up. Ooh, he's braking. I mean, he does tell, you know, that it's dangerous driving if you lift off down a straight or you brake down a straight. And, well, he's just compromised his own rules there, if you think about it. But nevertheless, he will get the move done and dusted here down the straight into turn 4. And I think Dark has just done the exact same thing, as he just lets Maldi go by.
Yeah, I'll just say, oh, and KO's round at turn 3.
Oh, crikey, what's going on with KO?
Yeah. He's reset the track again.
Well, that's another 5 seconds. 15 seconds to his tally. Bloody hell, man.
Davies somehow going to catch 10 seconds in the space of 5.5 laps. It just ain't going to happen, I don't think.
Try to the key. I mean, Francis is already within DRS, so you could say that near the end of the race, Francis already caught up, and therefore, he didn't lose that much time from it. And so Danny wouldn't get the 5 set. But that is quite a long stretch, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't really think...
Same thing with Toby. He's not going to gain 11 seconds in the space of 5 laps, so... He might be able to get down to, what, 5 seconds, and maybe if Danny does get a time penalty, maybe we can try and pick off P2. But most likely, I think if penalty does go away to Danny's way, I think Francis will have this.
Yeah, and... well, it is a bit jarring for Danny, isn't it? I mean, he was in a really nice ruling position, and all of a sudden he makes that little bit of contact with Francis, and he's looking at a P2 finish. I mean, it's not a bad result at all, but it's not, you know, the P1 in the standings that he would have necessarily wanted. I think if he still got P2 here tonight, though, he would still be very happy with it, considering, you know, he would still catch up quite crucial points to Toby in the standings. And, yeah, I mean, it's 7 points. He would catch up 10 points right now if he was actually P1. Which would mean, of course, 1 point in the standings going into next week. In Monaco, by the way. Monaco! I just deeped it. It's Monaco next season. No, next week, sorry. So, for that race, it's going to be banging. But Francis now going to have that DRS. He cuts it off. He wants to stay behind Danny.
Yep.
For 3-second time penalty.
Also, can we just deep this for a second? Maldi is currently P4 in Tier 2.
Yeah, let's deep it. Maldi's P4. I mean, he's probably going to get like 20 seconds because he's forced 80 people off. But nevertheless, you know, on-track P4 right now, a legitimate on-track P4, not provisional, is quite a bloody achievement, isn't it? It is quite the achievement for STB Maldi. As DRS now being used by Darkin, is he going to get the overtake? Yeah, I think I mean, he's seeing Maldi with that flashing red, so he's thinking to himself, surely, you know,
wide
I'm
there for Maldi.
Yeah, and he is losing a bit of time. But I'll tell you what, who's losing a bit of time? Francis to Toby. And all of a sudden, if Danny does get that 5 sec, he could actually be looking at a P3 result here. It's 4 laps left. Toby only needs to catch 1 second for each lap, which he can easily do with these new tyres. And I do feel for Danny here, I think he might lose his P1 due to that 5-second time penalty.
If he does get the 5-second time penalty, that is.
It should be. It should be fine. I mean, unless we look back at it and Francis just turns into DJ Danny. But other than that, it's most likely going to be that 5-second time penalty awarded to DJ Danny for that dangerous driving. But it's still, you know, he's still going to get a podium in my eyes, unless he spins, unless he does, you know, a KO and spins it at the top, at the right hander here. I mean, he's got really hope that Francis spins it into this right hander, doesn't he? Just make sure he makes that mistake. He makes that crucial mistake, which leads him to winning with only 3 laps left. I mean, yes, well, 2.5 really. As we always tips it into the grass a little bit there, I think, Francis, but nevertheless, we take a look at Mr. Mr. Dark Engineer here, still right behind DJ, Maldi. He was almost the winner. I think he was the winner of last season Tier 2, wasn't he? I think he is. Yeah, he was the winner of last season Tier 2. So
perfect.
You know, the champion really, and he's not necessarily had that pace that we once saw of him. As Francis now overtaken DJ Danny, and Danny wants that DRS, but I do fear, does Toby catch that 1.9 second gap with only 2 laps left? As Danny's going to come back at Francis here with that DRS. He's going to have to use some ERS, I think, as well, if he really wants to keep this P2 at the end of this race. 1.4 seconds now until that 5 second is caught up. 1.2, it is getting quite close between Danny and Toby, isn't it? We're going to have to hope. Well, I hope, because I like Danny. He's a nice fella, that he keeps it. But, no, I think Toby's got this in the bag, if I'm honest. For that P2. For P1 there, it should be Francis.
I'm just trying to question how these mediums have gone 23 laps.
It is quite astonishing, isn't it? 23 bloody laps.
There's got to be at least 70-80% tyre wear now. For sure, at least.
Danny, use your ERS, mate. Come on, keep that 5 second gap. I don't think he's going to keep it. I think Toby's going to be within that 5 second gap, and he's going to actually lose.
There goes Francis. Oh, he's had a
yeah.
I think Francis has done that because he saved a lot of overtake. Look at Danny. Danny's got 76% battery. Is Danny going to try and get back to the position?
And Danny coming back at him here, using that ERS down and going towards turn 4 here on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Danny inside. Danny goes off Francis. Done and dusted. I'll get that move done and dusted. Thank you very much. Marty, another 3 second time penalty for him, so he might lose position out to Dave, which is unfortunate for him. Going into his right-hander though, Danny, it's going to be quite close across the line, isn't it, Matt?
Yep.
For this P1 here.
They're both stocked up on the ERS. Yep.
I mean, could it be 5 seconds between Danny and Toby crossing the line? Use that DRS? I don't think it will be, if I'm honest. It is quite close. It's 4.7 really, the gap now.
Yeah, but Danny will use a lot of overtake down the end of the straight, and Toby hasn't got much left. So maybe he'll gain that time back just down this last straight, but Toby's caught like 4 tenths in the last few corners. This is crucial.
And last lap, last turn, Matt, on track. I think it will be Danny, as he will have come across that line to take away the P1 in the Sao Paulo GP. But of course, you just have to wonder, with that collision with Francis, does Francis get that win off of stewards' reports after the race? And if so, it will most likely be a 5 sec, which would mean that Toby would actually be your P2 finisher.
No, Dave P5 to Dave.
Indeed does. Dave does lose. Oh, sorry. Mounty does lose that P5 to Dave, but Mounty had 6 seconds on the board, and Dave had that 3 seconds, so it was bound to happen, really. Hype Nose finishes P7. Not Iron Lemon's had enough. He's finished P8. Forseti P9, and KO will come across the line for P10. Not a nice result for him. Side effects, not in the points, unfortunately for him. P11. But it was quite an extravagant race here in Tier 2, as it always is, really. And who's our driver of the day? It's going to be Dark Engineer. Not too bad of a race from him, really. Had some good battles with Maldi near that end. And, you know, as a result, gets a P4. I think he would walk away quite happy with that, Matt.
Sorry, who's that about? I was just mentioning.
Who? Anyways.
What?
Anyways, no, they're about. But Danny P1 podium, but yet again, is it going to be the same after that stewards report? Francis P2, Toby P3, Darkin P4, Dave P5, Manny P6, Hype Nose P7, Dilemma P8, Forseti P9, Sun Effects P10, KO P11, Jamie P12, Arena P13, KO P14, Anton P15, Koei P16. This is the King P17, and Callum. Last, unfortunately, as he DNF'd. Danny, a good race from him. I think we'll get him into the bloody party, should we, for the interview?
Yeah, provisional P1.
And we will send him that cheeky invitation.
Can't get Francis or Toby in here because they're both on PC.
Of course. I'll invite Maldy, just so you know he can be in the party later. There we go. Thinking ahead, you see, thinking ahead. Will DJ Danny join, though? That is the question. He has. Man, DJ Danny. So, Maldy, if you be... Danny, would you be so kind to...
Include my audio?
Include your audio. Indeed. Oh, he's unjoinable, the party. Never mind. Danny, you know, P1 on the track. You know, he had a great battle with Francis, stuck behind Toby for most of the race. You had that incident with Francis where me and Matt were questioning whether or not you get the win after the Stewards report. But overall, how are you feeling after that Brazilian GP?
It's a bit stressful. The wet weather's always, you know, where I think I'm at the best. But so I went from P9 to P4 in turn 1, and kind of, you know, that set the race up. The guys in front got penalties, and then yeah, with that incident, I'm not really sure what happened. It just seemed like a bit of wheel banging, and it just sent Francis a bit wide. I mean, it was kind of, I don't know if there was a, you know, penalty worthy or not, but obviously that's not up to me. So yeah, we'll have to see on that. But hopefully I keep the win. But you know, I won last week through someone else getting a penalty, so I guess, you know, we'll see. Yeah. But it was an enjoyable race. You know, that cat and mouse game at the end with Francis was actually stressful, but you know, fun at the same time. You know, knowing when to overtake and when to let them pass. Kind of like a game of cat and mouse, really. And I think in the end, I played it just right to keep on in front. So yeah, it was good.
Thank you very much, Danny, for the interview. If you, you know, would like to leave by, then that's up to you, mate. If you'd like to stay, up to you as well. Thank you all very much. That's going to be all the interviews for tonight. Thank you all very, very much for watching the special Brazilian GP or Maldy's special birthday. You can catch us here tomorrow for Tier 3, where Maldy will be racing again and hopefully not pushing me wide off track. And if you would like to see next week, it is one of the best circuits, in some people's opinion, of all time. The Monaco Grand Prix, Tier 1, 2 and 3, live on STB League. Follow us right now so you can go ahead and watch that next week. It's going to be a banger, all three of the races. We're going to have multiple crashes, multiple DNFs, and hopefully not a mafia moment where Maldy goes screaming on comms. Thank you all for watching for tonight's Brazilian Grand Prix here in Sao Paulo, in the streets of Interlagos. We all hope you have a good night. Good night.